I'm in a very privileged position to be able to just waffle my ass off about football non-stop. But the one thing that annoys me more than anything else, right, genuinely, is when people say I've got an agenda against your team, and people throw such random ones out there like Swansea, Preston, Bradford. Who cares? But we're putting that to rest today. We're putting it to rest right now. I've got a tier list with every single team at 92, and we're going to rank them and how much I like them. There's 8 categories, starting at bottom. Stinking ass, up to just ass. Stub toe, you're not really inconvenient ones that you just really don't like for some reason. The unbothered category, small liking, kiss. Strong liking, love and guidance. Come on. And then the top team, unfortunately, which I hate. Let me put them there now. Who I support, unfortunately. And without further Jimmy Abdu, let's get in there. Action Stanley. Come on, actually, I like the ground, I like the away day itself, but as a club, which is what this is about. Come on. Sorry, boys, but come on. Bournemouth, a small team that's done well. They go into the small liking. I'm a little bit bored of them in Premier League, I'm not going to lie to you, but they created the pathway for everybody else. Wimbledon, I love a good sob story, me, so they can go in there as well. And Arsenal, a lot of big Cockney sides I don't really care about. I'd be more of a Chelsea man personally than an Arsenal one or a Tottenham. But again, I don't care about any of them really. Villa, strong liking. Little bit of a Tory club, which goes against grain and the brand, obviously, being a Barnsley fan and a Northern man. But there's something about it. In general as well, there's going to be a lot of teams like a bigger sides that I'm not that bothered about. In Europe, I want every English side to do well instantly. I would much rather an English side win than a French one or a German. Do you know what I mean? And Villa, I don't know. I feel like maybe as a Barnsley fan, just because it's probably biggest team I've gone to in a league game and seen us win it, that carries some sort of weight with me. But I don't know. I quite like Villa for some reason. Barrow, couldn't care less. Birmingham, again, couldn't care less, to be honest. Blackburn, Blackpool, and Bolton, the three Bs, to go with my mates. I quite like all of them, to be honest, for different reasons. Blackburn, obviously, very small side fan base wise that have won a lot of things in past, obviously, Premier League. Blackpool, same again, Blackpool are a big club. They've been through a lot of shit. They also live in biggest shithole in the country, so I feel for them in that regard. And Bolton, I feel like Bolton had been here forever when we were in Championship, but the fact that we just have played them 40 times in the last 2 years, I feel like I'm growing a bit of attachment to Bolton. I quite like them now. I would like them to go up with us, obviously. Probably from League 2 next year. Bradford, don't care. Oh, Brentford. Oh, well, they're not stinking ass. I didn't mean that one. Brentford, I would probably have in the small liking. Similar to Bournemouth, small team that's done well. But also similar to Bournemouth, I'm bored of them. And I wouldn't mind them getting relegated. Because even though I like them as a club, they've probably got about 4,000 actual fans. And I don't like their owners, really. In fact, that they've just made a stadium that's way too big for them, but they're just selling it out to tourists and away fans that just completely take piss every week. But the club itself, I don't mind. Brighton, Walk, Bristol Rovers, don't care. Oh, that's Bristol City. Oh, very sorry. Bristol City don't care. Bristol Rovers don't care. Burnley, small liking again. They're just a better us. That is, Burnley are a better Barnsley. That's all it's ever been. Burton, don't care. Cambridge, don't care. Cardiff, a lot of people dislike Cardiff for off-pitch reasons. I've got a lot of respect for Cardiff, to be fair. I wouldn't have them in a small like. I'd put them in the don't care category, but I have a lot of admiration for Cardiff. Let's call it that. Carlisle, I actually quite like. Proper town, proper club, proper people. One of them ones. Cockneys don't really care. Chelsea, I know I said I'd probably edge Chelsea if I were to pick a London side. But in grand scheme of things, I don't care about any of them. And I would much rather a Northern team win over any of these every day of the week. If we're talking about Prem or something like that. But again, if Chelsea are in Europe, I want them to win it. Cheltenham, we do not care. Chesterfield, we do not care. Colchester, nope. Coventry, maybe would have gone into small liking, but we've also not bet Coventry away in probably 100 years. And also my first ever game were a 2-1 loss at home to Coventry, and I can remember it vividly. So for that one, you're staying in the unbothered category. Crawley, don't care at all. Crewe, no. Palace, no. Derby, stub toe. You can't see him because of the stupid badge, but I'm going to put him in the stub toe. I just don't like him. You know what I mean? And I've got no real, serious reasoning behind it. I've been there 4 times, lost 4 times, got relegated there. It's the only ground I've ever not been allowed into for being too drunk when I was 17. The fans think there's something. They think they're 8 cocksure this end on the Derby when they're just a bit of a nothing team at the minute. Yeah, I don't know. I don't like them. Anyway, Donny, I do not care. Everton, I actually quite like. I'm not gonna lie to you. I like Everton. There's something about him. I just feel like all the videos that you see on Twitter, like, is your man Sidibe? And then when he's sparking up that old boy because he wants to get kicked out, there's so much goodness that just comes out of Everton. To be honest, don't like it. I love him. I love Everton. Exeter, we do not care. Gillingham, no. Fleetwood, no. Forest Green. I mean, they're not even in Football League anymore, so I don't know why they're on this. The most embarrassing team EFL's probably ever seen, along with Salford. Yeah, the weirdos with the veganness and just being extremely attention-seeking, and they clean the pitch with like cow piss or something. So they're very, very odd, but it's not enough for me to like them because at the end of the day, they're a pub. Fulham, I don't like. I'm not going to lie to you. I don't like Fulham. I like the ground, but the fans are an absolute embarrassment. They take cheese boards on away days. They're just soft as out. You know what I mean? I don't know. If these were located, Fulham, with like the same fan base and everything like that, if they were to play, if you just plonk them in North somewhere, they'd be sat in League One. Because they've got London tax and they're all Tories. They can attract players on 100 grand a week. You know what word to describe them is? Poncy. That's how I describe Fulham. Yeah, from one extreme to other. Grimsby Town. Proper working class folk. Proper people, proper town, proper club. Go on, Grimsby! Oh my god, we're going back the other way again. Harrogate. Unbothered. Huddersfield, I actually quite like. As far as Yorkshire teams go, I would say they're the only ones that I actually... They're not in the unbothered thing. I want Huddersfield to do well. To be honest, I'm not going to lie to you. I want Huddersfield to do well. Hull, again, a lot of respect for Hull, but I would put them in the unbothered category. Ipswich, however, I do actually quite like. Barnsley and Ipswich used to be quite pally like 25 years ago. The betters to go to Prem, and then they finished 5th in Prem season after the betters in playoff final, didn't they? Obviously, the last couple of seasons they've shown what a side at lower leagues can do, because obviously a big club, aren't they, Ipswich? And yeah, apart from 2 years ago when it was like a chuffy Royal Rumble outside at ground, I quite like Ipswich. Leeds, absolute stinking ballsack, mate. Shock. I think you could support any team on here, and I think you probably have Leeds in this category, to be honest with you. I do think it can be a bit weird, though. You know, if, like, say someone from Exeter or Ipswich, for example, says, oh, yeah, I hate Leeds, something like that. I do think that is a bit weird. I do think that's a bit obsessive that people from all over the country just hate Leeds. Obviously, they're one of the biggest one-team cities in Europe, and they're an absolute failure for size of club. They're embarrassing, so I can understand that. I hate them for a good reason. They're 10 minutes up road. I'm on the other side of Wakey. I live at top end of Barnsley anyway, so I just see... And they're getting a bit too comfy in Barnsley as well. They keep walking around with Leeds tops on that time centre, and I'm like, someone will get you, and I will be there. They're embarrassing. They make me feel sick. Anyway, Leicester, don't care. Leyton Orient, we do not care. Lincoln, I'm going to put them in the unbothered category. I like the place. To be fair, it's nothing to do with club. I just like the place. I like going there. We get decent results there, to be fair. To say they're a hard to beat side in this league. Yeah, I like that. To be fair, I quite like Lincoln. I'm going to leave them there anyway. Liverpool, I can't lie. I cannot lie to you. I liked Liverpool when I was a kid. Obviously, regardless of who you support when you're a young lad, if you're watching Premier League on telly, you sometimes just pick a team anyway, don't you? Obviously, I grew up at some point. A lot of people don't, and they just keep pretending to support big teams forever, even though they've got no affiliation to them at all, apart from your dad's chuffing great uncle plastered an house there once. But yeah, I mean, I fell in love watching football with Barnsley, but seeing it on telly, watching like Gerrard and Torres especially, for me, I can't get rid of that. The fans are absolute freaks, don't get me wrong. Not the actual Scousers, the E-fans, beyond weird. But Liverpool as a club, it's them and one other that I want to win the league most of the time. Realistically, obviously I want someone like chuffing Newcastle to win it, do you know what I mean? But in grand scheme of things, Liverpool, I do actually like them. Shoot me! Sunderland, small liking, not going to lie to you. Good fan base, good club, I do like them. Luton, Barnsley of the South, they take all as players. We came out of the hood together in League One a few years ago when we were top 2. I don't know. Again, small team that's doing well. Obviously, at the minute, they're going through it a bit, but I like Luton. I also like Man City. In fact, it's for a different reason to Liverpool, because Liverpool, obviously, I grew up watching my favourite players ever, Gerrard and Torres. But Man City, I like them for current players, which is best thing that Barnsley have ever produced in John Stones. So that is why I like Man City and I want them to win. To be fair, I'll probably like them even more. You know, when obviously Pep leaves, probably end of this season, and they get demoted to like National League North, and they're playing chuffing dog and duck. I will actually really want them to do well then. I'd love to be a Man City fan, you know. I really would, because the rush from League One to winning everything, then they're going to get sent straight back to pits, get rid of all tourists, and come up with all proper fans again with about 8 promotions in a row. Oh, lucky little bastards for proper fans that go. But I like Man City. Man United, on the other hand, again, if they were in Europe, I would want them to win. To be fair, they're barely getting Europe nowadays, they're shit. But overall, corrupt refs crying about 150 charges with Man City when they were blatantly cheating for years on end. They didn't get a penalty at home given against them for about 5 years. Having seen them in the flesh, the decisions that Man United gets ridiculous. The fans all play victims. Bit embarrassing, to be honest with you. And also, it's the fact that they're just... It's the fans again. It's the fans for me. Like, we played them away. In case you're not aware, we lost 7-0. And these Man United fans getting up train back to Barnsley weird. I'm like, oh, so weird. Capital at North, biggest team in country. There is something about me that quite likes them, but on the whole, I would rather them lose. Do you know what I mean? Just to see all the fans cry. Anyway, Mansfield, don't care. Middlesbrough, we do not care. Love and Guidance. This is my second team. I'm not even capping right now. I love Millwall. I absolutely love them. Obviously, I've told this story a million times. One of my best mates is from London, is a Millwall fan. He came up when he were a kid, and obviously we've grown up together, played football together, and then went to school together and everything, and I still have to see him now, unfortunately. He popped my knee into place, actually, the other day, thank you. But yeah, if I was a Barnsley fan, I would migrate down to Bermondsey, and I would support Millwall. I love them boys. MK Dons are disgusting. They shouldn't exist. Stub toe. Markham. Do not care. Newcastle. Are they a strong liking or are they a small liking? Either way, I do like Newcastle. I'm gonna put them in strong. Am I? No, I'm not. No, I'm not. I'm gonna fiddle with this as it goes on a little bit because some of these teams don't belong with the other ones. But I'm putting them back in. I like Newcastle. I like Newcastle. Newport, don't care. Northampton, do not care. Norwich, no. What? Get in there. Forest. Just instantly in there. I'm from Barnsley. I weren't born when all miners shit kicked off, so I couldn't. To be quite honest with you, I couldn't care less about that. But when you brought up in this place, you know what I mean? Obviously, I weren't there, but I weren't there for many things throughout history. I don't mean it didn't happen. You know what I mean? I do not like these guys. Same goes. Oxford. I do quite like. No, I'm gonna put them in there. I can't like all these teams. You know what I mean? So when people say I've got an agenda, I probably have. I have a smaller liking to the majority of teams than the ones that I don't. Peterborough, don't care. Plymouth, again, small liking. Same as Portsmouth. They're not that good. Portsmouth. Same as Port Vale. Pardon me, to be honest with you. 3 proper clubs, 3 proper fan bases, 3 proper towns and places. I like them boys. Preston, don't care. QPR, don't care. Reading, don't care. Rotherham, don't care less. Salford, again, they're a pub. If class of 92 had out about them, they'd have gone and saved Bury, but instead they went for a cheaper option to propel them instead and let a proper club die. Sheffield United, ass. I think with Sheffield United, I've got a very, very strange affiliation to these. Obviously, I don't like them. They're 10 minutes down the road. I want them to lose every week. I want them to be embarrassed. When they come down last season for Premier League, I was loving it. But I'm not that bothered about them unless we play them, which is very rare, unfortunately, because obviously we sent them to League One for 6 years. And then we've just swapped places, and they've been at Prem, they've come back down, and we're just sat here dying. Also, my girlfriend's family, majority of them are Sheffield United fans, which, to be honest, makes me want them to lose even more. Anyway, moving on. Wednesday, disgraceful, disgusting, made me want to do things that I cannot say on YouTube or I will be demonetized and the FBI would be outside my house. And I'm saying Sheffield United are 5 minutes down the road, which they are. Sheffield Wednesday are about 2. People say, Hillsborough's not even Sheff. For a start, at least Sheffield United have got the decency to play in Sheffield. Sheffield Wednesday should be called Hillsborough Wednesday. They should not be called Sheffield Wednesday when they don't play in Sheff. I'm gonna go on a whim here and say at least 50% of that ground when it's full, which is very rare, is from Barnsley or Rotherham. They're all from there. They're embarrassing. It's just full of people that claim to support the local, but they actually don't. It's one of them ones. It's embarrassing. I'll tell you what. At least these have got decency to not walk around in tops around town centre because that would go down south. Whereas Leeds just think like, I'm a Leeds fan, I do what I want. You know what? Ponds category for Leeds. Shrewsbury, don't care. Stevenage, don't care. Stockport, probably small liking, just proper club that got absolutely stiffed a long time ago. They've been down to National League North and come back up. Proper club. Stoke close to being in there, but we'll put them in there. Sutton, I don't care. Who's that? Swansea, don't care. Swindon, don't care. Southampton, don't care. Spuds, they're more funny to laugh at than anything, but overall, don't care. Tranmere, don't care. Walsall, don't care. Watford, don't care. Baggies, couple stories from my dad's days that I can't say that I have them in dislike, but from my point of view, I just don't care. West Ham, I quite like. It's odd with some of these teams because obviously I'm not involved in the rivalry. Like Millwall, West Ham, I quite like both of them. Newcastle, Sunderland, quite like both of them. Do you know what I mean? And West Ham, again, proper team. Even though the Cockneys, at least the serious. You know what I mean? Wigan, I don't care. I could not care less. Wigan fans would probably have us down here because, I mean, you know what the whole thing with Wigan actually annoyed me. Don't get me wrong, I don't care. But the thing that annoyed me with Wigan is when they went into shit. And they started blaming us for going to court hearing. Well, Barnsley representatives went to court hearing to provide evidence against them because they took our striker, Kiefer Morphers, didn't pay us for him, and then they'd have relegated us with him without paying us. Fucking idiots. Anyway, we've got 3 left. Wolves. I don't like Wolves. I'm not going to lie to you. I do not like Wolves. Again, this is one of them ones from this is from 90s and before I were even born and when we went to Premier League and Mark McGee and all that shit. And obviously I wasn't there and I didn't see it. Again, don't mean it didn't happen. And when you're a young lad that's been took at football from ages, I had my first season ticket when I was 7, I think. So me, I'm going to pub at 7 years old with my dad and all my dad's mates, and I'm being told stories from years gone by of stuff that's happened regarding Wolves. That stuff sticks with me, do you know what I mean? I do not like him. Mark McGee, the fat Scottish bastard. Anyway, Wrexham. Thing is, Wrexham as a club, I don't care. You know what I mean? Because it's just another team with Wrexham. I quite like their ownership. I don't like all the bandwagon fans that they've got. I like the proper fans that were there, the 2,000-3,000 of them that were watching them when they were actually shit every week. The actual Wrexham fans. The other 10,000 that have just spawned in like that because they're on telly and they might get a chance of getting a signed Deadpool lad. Absolutely embarrassing. The whole regime around them, to be honest, I've got to put them in there. Once the documentary thing ends and Ryan Reynolds and Rob, they sell the club for record profit because they've taken him from chuffing non-league to League One or Championship by the time they sell up. Once they've done that and then all part-time Wrexham fans go back to supporting Liverpool and Everton, I will probably like them in grand scheme of things. I'll probably put them up there because they've been hard done by EFL and they've come on the other side of it. But it's by spending shitloads of money and blowing all these teams out of water when they shouldn't be able to do it. So, disliking. And finally, Wickham, I don't care. But that is the rundown. So, obviously, I hate Barnsley, but unfortunately, I was born here. And I love them, really. Obviously, I couldn't love anybody else, could I? Apart from Millwall. But no, Barnsley, my team forever, sadly. Millwall, love them boys. I'm gonna change some of these, actually. We're going to get Villa, I'll plop down. Grimsby, I'll plop down. I like them. I like them boys. Small liking for all these boys, all unbothered like I do. The majority of teams I couldn't care less about, but there are some that I watch and I'm like, it's not as much that I like them. It's more that I'm like, I would like you to do when I would like you to win over everybody below you. You know what I mean? Sunderland are playing, I don't know, any Palace. I'd be like, you know what? Part of me wants Sunderland to win. Proper team. You know what I mean? Teams that I don't like, particularly Derby, Fulham, Man United, MK Dons, Forest, Notts County. To be fair, I'm not that bothered about County, to be honest. Derby, Fulham, Man United, MK Dons, Forest, Salford, Wolves, Wrexham. Everything else, if you're telling me that I've got an agenda, get a grip, because quite clearly I don't care about you. Sheffield United, their own tier, just by being weird. And obviously, Leeds and Wednesday. But that is that. Thank you all for watching, boys. Make sure you've liked the video, make sure you've subscribed, and you've got the notifications on. Shit! Love and guidance. Right, boys. Pleasure.
I say I'm a man, yes, I'm a mucker. I think of me son as a right good looker. I say up glass, show us bit tits. I work down builder's yard laying bricks.